Alright, what's up, people? Kind of just doing something pointless today. I'm going to max out the injection pump on this just a little bit. It only got like a tiny bit more to go with the fuel rate, and if I can find the appropriate thing to plug off the intake manifold, I'm going to delete the AFRC, which is the air-fuel ratio control. If you're familiar with like a 12-valve Cummins, they have a similar thing, which I think is just called the AFC, air-fuel control, and more or less it, we're gonna have some noise coming here. Japanese bike, I think. Yeah. So the AFRC, air-fuel ratio control, just it's a diaphragm with boost pressure fed to it, and it basically holds back the fuel rack in the pump until boost comes on. Now I've already adjusted the AFRC, so there is a lot more smoke right off when you take off than there would be stock. In fact, the AFRC is an emissions control device. Before they had, well, back during mechanical injection era, you know, long before you had like DPFs in the exhaust, let alone common rail injection and stuff like that, the emissions control to stop smoke was simply by means of doing things like this, stopping the fuel before the boost come on. So too much fuel before there's air, you get smoke. So like I said, I've already adjusted that. I want to try and take it off and see if it makes any kind of a performance difference. Maybe the boost will come on quicker, and maybe it'll pull a little harder down low. So let's get messing with that. Alright, there you go. So there's your injection pump right there, right down in the middle of the valley of the V8. As you can see, it is actually a V8 injection pump. Kind of cool. It's like an inline pump. It's basically very similar to the design of like an inline P pump on a Cummins, only it's obviously laid out like a V8. And that's the air-fuel ratio control right there. So on this setup, this is basically a diaphragm with a spring in it. That hose there leads over to the intake manifold. Boost pressure applies pressure to the diaphragm, which then allows the rack to go full when it sees boost. It's adjustable. Take these 3 bolts out. That top thing just turns like a knob. You turn it in clockwise, tighten it, you get more fuel off boost. As far as the fuel rate goes, just generally getting more fuel on boost. Back here, if I remember correctly, I believe it's in there. It's one of those, I can't remember. I think that's the high idle and that's the fuel rate. I've had it apart a couple times, so I should remember, but of course I don't. But yeah, so basically I need to see if I have the appropriate thing to plug that off, either over there, well, preferably over there, but if I have the end to go to that even, it would work too. Look what I just noticed on the hood spring. The thing, Jesus, is that, I don't know if there's any like wasps or anything living in that right now. Oh, there's a hole in it, but I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm just gonna leave it. Well, I can't find a very good spot to put that camera, but just have to make do. Oh, you frickin' bastard. Wow, that almost disappeared. Nah, I wouldn't have went any further. That off. It's the air supply to the air brake pump. That out of the way. Oh, wow. That's like not even weird. Probably be stuck on here again. Hasn't been that long though. There she goes. Oi! First, oh, you bastard! Yeah, I know there's a bolt missing, but there's plenty of bolts, so I don't think we need that one. Oh, what am I thinking of? That's a 3/8. All right, get out of there. You too, get out of there. Come on out. Yeah, you. Hey, you over there. Yep, you too. Get out of there. All right, get out. Base. I've said it in one of my old videos probably, but that is a heavy piece of metal. That is serious. Now, you can see that inlet manifold and how the turbo's set up on this thing. The intake of the turbo. The inlet manifold has the inlet for the boost and the turbo intake all right cast into one. So the air feeds down in the turbo, no intercooler, and it feeds right back into here to distribute it to the engine. There is the entire beast of an injection pump from there to there. And yeah, that's the high idle adjustment. So basically that's the governor adjustment, and I'd already adjusted that. So we're about 2,800 RPM. That used to be about 2,200 RPM. The fuel rate adjustment's in here, and it is maxed out. Technically, the fuel rate adjustment, I have actually maxed it out by adjusting the screw. But you can actually get another like few millimeters or a couple millimeters out of it by taking the screw completely out. Because all it is a stop. The screw that you adjust, there's a pin underneath that comes up out of the pump and hits the screw. So basically it's just the screw you're adjusting is just a stop adjustment. So if you adjust it all the way out, the pump can go a certain amount of travel and stop. Now if you take that screw completely out of there, you get like another couple millimeters of travel out of it. Probably not going to make a difference as far as actual power output, but it's going to be something I'm going to try. Now again, the air-fuel ratio control we can see is right there. And I'm only thinking about, I definitely need to replace the lines on this too. They're really looking pretty rusty. But the only reason I'm even thinking about trying this is because I have another pump that has the correct block-off plate for that. Otherwise, obviously, I'm not going to just make a plate for it. That would be pointless. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to soak that water up out of there. So what happens is, and part of it is because I didn't put a certain panel back on. There's a little like drip rail that goes right there that was really rusty. I needed to paint, and I just didn't want to put it back on so rusty. But I guess I was not putting it back on at all was a bad idea, because from sitting with rain, when it rains, it literally just fills up the valley of the engine with water. So that is not good. But just gonna get I have a rag. Usually I just soak that up. So. Oh, come on, there she goes. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I just gotta see if I got the correct thing to plug this off. Because if I don't have anything to plug this off, then I'm basically not gonna be able to do this. But unless I guess I could go somewhere and get the thing. But I know I have like fittings like that. I just don't know if I have the thing to plug it off. There it goes. Of course, I got the freaking worst tool. There she is. Boy, I wasn't in there very far. Alright, I guess I'll bring this inside and see if I got anything for it. Alright, check it out. My stash of stuff, I actually found the exact thing I needed. Pipe plug. Beautiful. Freaking awesome. Now it's the same. Come on. Get into this aluminium here. Come on. There's like debris in there. There she gets. No. Notice the other one wasn't threaded in very far and the threads are messed up. There it goes. There she goes. Beautifully. Alright, now couldn't find an adjustable wrench. Alright, there we go. Not that small anyway. We'll call that good right about there. That ain't coming out. Alright, we got the other injection pump here. Got a full gasket kit for it. I've already used a couple of the gaskets like for these on the truck. 6N3723 full pump gasket kit. O-rings and everything inside and out, everything for this pump. So this is the guy we need right here, and that will block off our AFRC. That is what is equipped on a naturally aspirated setup. Actually, some turbocharged engines, some turbocharged 3208s have this as well, only if they're in like a industrial, like a generator, or I'd imagine there's other applications. I don't know if like some excavator engines or what have you maybe had turbo engines. I don't even know if they had turbo engines in equipment. I just know that there's like generators, water pumps, things like that that had turbo engines that did not have an AFRC. And the reason for that is because in an industrial implement engine or stationary engine, if you will, the engine is turned on and then goes right to full throttle. So there's no need to have an AFRC, because for that second or two when it's building up boost, that smoke is going to happen, but it's just going to be it's for that first startup. So you only really need the AFRC was an emissions control for a truck engine, because every time you're accelerating and you're out of boost, it's going to smoke. So we'll go ahead and see if we can clean this up a bit, try to get that paint off there, and then get it on there. And actually, I do got to spot the gasket for it, so I can get back to you in a second. I've actually had this off before, just to understand. Help me understand how it works. And it's very simple. I mean, there's just a little thing in there that it grabs. And I guess we'll really see when we get the actual AFRC off of the other engine. Yeah, that's the correct gasket. Yeah, you see. So you can see they're all set up like that. Actually, I don't know if that's So I believe it actually pulls up on that normally, and then when it's under boost, it pushes down on it. Not too sure, unless that's just jammed up. Oh, yeah, okay, it moves. Man, that is some tough paint. I mean, it's not that tough, but check it out. This is original yellow paint on it. See, I think all of these engines and pumps are always yellow to start with from Cat. And then when this pump was made, this pump was on a fire pump, like a fire suppression pump engine that I guess would have been more or less like a generator, but it was like a fire pump engine in a factory, maybe, to, you know, it would be something that wouldn't be used unless there was a fire. But they're always red. The fire pump engines, the Caterpillar fire pump 3208s are always red, but obviously they start out as yellow. Interesting. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but now I'll continue with two hands. Alright, check it out. I just happen to have the Caterpillar yellow correct paint that I actually bought, believe it or not, before I even owned that truck. I was going to paint the wheels on the Isuzu for some reason, and then it looked like crap. I tried one wheel and it looked like utter shit, so let's see if we can fog her up here a little bit. Ooh, there's a bunch of wind. Of course, right when I gotta paint. Nice starting coat, and then we'll come back over it. It'll be the only nice yellow thing on the engine. Figured I'm not just gonna put it on there bare, because it's actually steel, it's not aluminum, so I don't want it to rust. Although I almost think it was like galvanized or something, because it's obviously there was no rust on it. But all right, well, I was gonna wanted to let that thing dry, the paint dry, and not take this off until I'm ready to put that on. But I want to get this thing moving, so Ooh, nice. I love when that happens. Oh, man. See, I knew that was going to be an issue. And those lines are rusty as hell, so I'm going to try to be careful right here. Oh, boy. Yeah? There we go. Okay. All right, now, I've never had one of these off. I've never had one of these apart. I've only, as you saw a minute ago, I have taken the block-off plate off the other pump. I've never had this off of this pump. Assuming it just sort of, I know there's that little thing in there that engages, and I'm assuming it just sort of jiggles out of there, although I'm wondering if this is going to be in my way, which would really suck. And it is, isn't it? Oh man, that's freaking so close to coming out of there. Oh, if that's gonna freaking be what screws me, I'm gonna be annoyed. Hey, awesome. Okay, interestingly, wow, interesting. So on the other pump, that, all right, let's take a look at what we got going on here. All right, so this is what that looks like. As you can see, it grabs in. Now, what's weird to me is on the other pump, this is actually down, and on this one, it's sprung up. So, and this grabs it, so I'm wondering, you know, does this, which direction does this go? Oh, you know what it is? I think because it's not running. So when it runs, it goes to full fuel, right? Or no, when it's started, or I should say when it's in the off position, it's in full fuel, I think. So basically when it starts, I think that yeah, that's what it is. This is in full fuel position until you start it, which is why that's up. Pretty sure anyway, but I mean, honestly, the only way to find out will be to actually go ahead and put the block-off plate on and see what happens. Pretty light little piece, actually. This thing doesn't weigh anything. Good news is the gasket came off on the AFRC unit, so I don't have to worry about scraping it off of here or anything. Ooh, piece of paint in there. Oh god. Ooh, all right. I don't want to mess with that too much. I think that's clean enough. So I'll go ahead and there. Of course, the thing is not dry yet, but I don't care. I'd rather get this covered than worry about the paint on that thing. Should have cleaned the paint off the bolts. I forgot. Oh well. This thing's gonna probably look like shit after I get it in here anyway. Well, it's surrounded by shit, so. Oh crap! I can't see if I got this freaking. You know what? I wonder if I can put the gasket on here. Actually kind of funny. Like, that's what the whole entire engine and everything should look like. It looks amazing. I hope I can. Alright, I'm looking forward to the day that I actually do restore this, you know, at least paint this engine. Come on, where are you? Oh! Come on, dude. What the hell? There we go. Beautiful. There we go. She's all lined up. Gasket's still lined up. We can see it. Oh, yes, dude. Now, I'll have to go get my thing that I use. I've never had to use, thankfully, but I have a thing to block off the intake in case she runs away on me. This really should not have any effect on it because I haven't really messed with anything. I just took that out of there, so Snug her up, not too tight. Up. Hopefully that doesn't leak randomly, which didn't before, and brand new gasket, so hopefully it doesn't leak now. Alright, whenever you're messing with a diesel engine, messing with the pump, when you go to start it, you always want to make sure you have some way to shut it down in case it starts running away. And best thing I got right now, and I've never had to use it, so hopefully it actually even would work. Feels like it, I don't know. Is it warped? Because that would be a problem. But hopefully we don't have to mess with that. I always get a little bit nervous. Oh, it's freaking hot in here. Beautiful, she didn't run away on me. Let's check for leaks near that thing that I just put on there. Let it warm up a little bit. Oh, my eyes burn. Man. It's so quiet. I just wish it wasn't so quiet. I did notice that when I put those on, they really actually quieted it down a lot. So at some point I may just take those off just to see if there's a difference in sound. Because I never had the truck tuned up. I never had it turned up with those off. I've only ever had it stock with those on and then turned up with those on. So it'd be a little bit louder with them off. Frankly, I want to totally redo the exhaust. I want to do I have the stock exhaust coming off the turbo is 4-inch, and I have it going to a 5-inch split, and then 5-inch up to those are 5-inch stacks. But I want to actually go 4-inch. I want to have a 4-inch all the way up to the stacks, just to the bottom where it turns up is 5-inch. And actually, I've even been thinking about just going with one 4-inch stack instead of the two, just for sound. And also, I love the way it looks to just have one single high-pressure stream of smoke going up as opposed to two kind of like fanning out low-pressure smokes. Little stupid things like that get me, like that make me want to do things, but want to change it. But anyway, it looks amazing like that, so I hesitate to want to do anything to it. Let's rev on it a little bit. I mean, it's not really got any temperature in it yet, but we'll rev on it to bring some temperature into it. Until she warms up a bit, that clutch fan is ripping. It's kind of funny, it rips when it's cold, and then it slows down, and then it'll come on again if it's hot. But All right, well, I decided I'm not gonna mess with that fuel rate adjustment. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I mean, I don't think it's gonna give me much more anyway. It's just gonna probably, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna really do much for power. It's such a small amount, but I could be wrong. It could unlock another 20 horsepower, who knows? But I think for now, I'm just gonna put the air cleaner and everything back on it and take it down the road and see how it does. It definitely looks like there's a little bit more smoke when I rev it. So when there's too much smoke, there's not enough air, as Gail Banks would say. Initially, when I was off boost there, I definitely felt that. I actually want to stop again and start again and see how it feels. Yeah, it feels good. I always think I hear something when I'm driving there. I just think something's breaking. Not that much more smoke. I think I had the AFRC probably adjusted most of maxed out basically. But I did notice a difference when I first laid into the throttle that it pulled harder, so it definitely did make some kind of a difference. It just doesn't make that much more smoke because it obviously boosts pretty quick. I don't know what I keep thinking I hear a weird noise. It's hard to hear weird noises when the freaking exhaust is right next to your ear. Another reason I was thinking about doing a single exit on the other side. Love that, man. High range and do a full rip. Second gear. Back into that, it looks like I'd get stuck. Just realized I'm sitting here making noises. Oh, I love that smell. It smells so good. Oh yeah. Alright, well, that was a video about something, nothing, I don't know. I mean, that was pointless, let's be honest. There was no reason to do that. But it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed driving it after that. It definitely did make a difference. I mean, it's a very minimal difference, but just coming off of idle and laying into it, I felt a little bit, it felt a little bit stronger. Didn't have any kind of, before it kind of had more of a delay in the way it pulled, and now I feel it start pulling instantly, and then when the boost comes on, it really pulls. But same, kind of same, but different. I don't think I'm going to literally gain any time. Like, I don't think I'm going to shorten my time, like in the 8th mile or anything, but sounds awesome. It smokes, and it's fun as hell to drive. So either way, hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
One final word to the people. Do not try that at home. That was done strictly for off-road exhibition purposes only. And let me tell you what, the testing was done outside of states in Mexico. What you know about that?
Like, share, subscribe to this channel, Dieselville Network, which shouldn't be named that, but it is.